या अली मदद, यहाँ पर एक सवाल है.
One of the formats, it also says that even if you attain paradise, you can still fall from paradise.
Yeah. So remember we had talked about it, that there are steps. So after you die, you will not fall from the heavens. So it doesn't matter which level you are at, you're only going to progress.
Okay.
Why? Because there is no free will at that point.
So
everything you're doing,
right? Yeah.
you are doing, by force. Only time you can go up or down is with your free will. On this side. So people think that once they do ibadat and they have a nur, they will never lose the nur. That's not true.
You cannot get proud.
You can get proud, or you stop practicing, you will lose the nur. Right? Then there's a second level. People who receive the nur and they become lazy. Not that they necessarily do the bad deeds, they become lazy. So temporarily they will stop seeing the nur. Just temporary. As soon as they get back on horse, they are back. And then there are third level of mu'mineen who becomes one with the nur. There's a difference between the first group, the second group, and the third group. The highest group, they become one with the imam, and those are the ones who will never lose the nur. You know what would be a great subject to talk about? And we will come back to 97. The story of Adam and Iblis. Because I think that's where we are talking about. How can somebody fall from the heaven? So we're not going to talk about the Adam falling from the heaven, but Iblis. Right. So let's talk about that. It is said that Iblis said that I am made of the fire and Adam is made of the soil or the dirt. How can I bow down to him? Right? We all heard of this. I think it's Surah Baqarah ki ayat number 30.
Everything's in Surah 2, actually. Surah 2 is everything, right?
Huh?
Surah 2 is the longest surah.
Oh, yes, that's right.
All most references come from Surah 2.
30 is the rest.
230, yeah, and then onward. So, let's start with this one. So, Allah makes Adam and asks all the angels to bow down to him. All bow down but one, Iblis, he said no. And God said, what made you think, or what made you say that? He said, I'm made of fire and he is made of soil. How can I bow down to him? So now we need to understand what is the soil and what is the fire. Alright? If you understand that, we will understand why would he say that. What he was actually saying, that I am on the higher rank of 4 elements. What are those 4 elements?
Earth, water,
Huh?
earth,
Yeah.
water, fire.
Yeah. So सबसे नीचे जो है वो मट्टी है, the dirt. Right? Dirt जो है सबसे नीचे है मट्टी. Second element is water. Third element is fire. And the 4 is hawa, air. Okay? You may want to write this down. The 4 elements. Mati, the soil, water, fire, and the air. Now, look at the mati and water first. Mati is absolute dense. You cannot see through it. It doesn't float. Right? It's absolute dense. Compared to water, water is still dense, but you can see through it. So it needs to be more astral or latif compared to mati. On one side it is dense, but the other side is astral or the latif. Right? Because you can see right through it. You can dive in it. Right? Alright. So, pani or water compared to fire. Fire is not dense, but you can still see it. So if you take three things, the density means taking place. Second, can you see it? So fire has two things in common with mati and water. I'm sorry, one thing in common with mati and water. Water had two things in common with mati. Right? So mati is a dense, take place. You can see it and you cannot see through it. Compared to water. Water had two things dense. It still take place. You can still see it, but you can see right through it. Fire only has one thing in common with other two, which is you can see it. It does not take place. It's not dense. Right? And you can see right through it. Right? So two astral, one dense. Water has one astral, two dense. Mati has all three dense. Okay? Now what is the one thing left on top of it? Hawa, air. It doesn't take place. You cannot see it. And you can go right through it. All three astral attributions, right? So those four elements. So what Iblis was saying, that I have made myself with fire. Meaning I have two attributions of astral and only one more to go before I become Hawa. And that was that you can still see him like fire. So he has one element of dense and two element of astral. So what he was saying that Adam has nothing astral about him. He's not even at the attribution of water, where all the ilm, because he's saying, I have all the ilm too. Because the ilm or the water had that one attribution of astral which he added. He said, I have all the ilm in me. And I have made myself where I don't even take any space. So I'm on the higher rank than Adam. So how can I bow down to him? So when people say that Iblis said, I'm made of fire, they thought of everything. For example, वो जिन का बच्चा था, वो इंसान नहीं था, वो फरिश्ता था, ये था, वो था. No, he was human just like in Adam. He was no different than Adam. But he had elevated himself almost to the level of the Hawa or the air. Meaning he was this close to getting astral body. But because he disobeyed Allah, at that point, he had not received any more elevation after that. Because we were talking about how those three groups of people, one who received nur and then do bad deeds will lose the nur. Second, people who will receive the nur but become lazy and may lose the nur temporary. And then there are third kind who receive the nur and keep progressing up and up, high and high. So Iblis, he was elevated soul, but at one point he did not understand that most important thing in that elevation is humbleness. Meaning saying, I am the dust under the feet of Mu'mineen. He forgot to say that part. And by that he disobeyed Allah, because it was nothing about his rank or Adam's rank. It was just obeying the farman of Imam or the Allah. I was just reminded a couple of days ago of one of the farman, and I had forgotten. In one of the farman, Imam says, if I say it is a day, then it is a day. If I say it is a night, then it is a night. Would Imam ever will come and say that? That's so illogical. Why would he say that? If it's a daytime, why would he come and say, no, it's a nighttime? Or if it's nighttime, he say, oh, it's a daytime. What does this farman mean? So, Imam saying, when I tell you something, just believe it, because I know what you don't know. So Imam is not talking about this day and night. Imam is talking about pupil and soul. And what he's saying, when I tell you that this guy is a day, he's a day. And when I tell you this guy is a night, he's a night. And उस दोनों के अंदर उस मोमिन की तारीफ है. मीनिंग कि ये हुज्जत रोज है और ये हुज्जत शब है. He's the peer of the day, you can see him. He's the peer of the night, so don't think he's not a peer. He's also a peer, but of the night. So you will not understand. So when I tell you it is a day, believe it. When I say it is a night, believe it. Because I know what you don't know. And that's how Imam is teaching us. But with a blind faith, at that time, people say, Ya Mullah, if you say during the day it is a night, we will believe you. But logically it doesn't make sense. Why would Imam say that? Right? But he was talking about something else. We were thinking of something else. But with the Imam, we still believed it. But in today's time, if Hazrat Imam comes in front of the children, even if you are inside the hall where you cannot see the sky, if it is a day or night, you will go, oh no, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not night. Right? Or somebody may even Google it. What time is it? Right? Or call on Siri. Hey Siri, what time is it? And she will tell you. Right? But that's how Imam works. He gives us things to think about. So when we listen to Farman, Imam will never give us a illogical Farman. It may seem illogical to us because we don't understand, but he will never give us a illogical Farman. So when Allah said to the angels, bow down to Adam, to him there was illogical. Because why would Allah would ask him to do a shirk? When Allah himself has said, don't bow down to anyone but me. To him, that was illogical, and he didn't want him to do the shirk. But then Allah said, all those who have bowed down are angels, and you are Duranga. Right? Meaning you have gone further away from me, or get away from me, get out of my sight. Meaning he lost his ranks due to that.
Disobedience.
Huh? For disobedience, he lost his ranks. So, whenever we hear those stories, we need to think, what is it talking about? Why would he call himself a fire? And why Allah will call in the story Adam Matti or soil? So, Matti stands for Mumin and Kichar, because Allah made Adam with a Kichar, right? Mud. Because Allah had poured ilm into him, the water, and then Matti become mud, and then he fashioned him. The word is used that Allah fashioned him, made him perfect. Perfect with what? With the water. And then once he was completed, he blew his nur into him. And it was his nur that Iblis was supposed to bow down to, not the body. So today if somebody asks us, why do we bow down to Imam? Why do we call him Ali Allah? It's not because of his body, because his body is just like us. It is his nur that we bow down to. It is his nur that we call Ali Allah. So I think we're going to stop here on this one.
एक बहुत अच्छा जो है वो सूफी शेर है. ए सर तू सजदा कर कि तेरा फर्ज सजदा है, इनकार सजदा जिसने किया वो तो रांदा है.
So ahead, your job is to do sajda. So go ahead and do prostration. The one who refused to prostrate to him is randa, far away, or dur hai. That's the ayat that I was looking for this morning. So there is ayat, and we are trying to find that ayat. Hopefully we'll find it, inshallah. It says the people who do not believe in the symbol of Allah, what is ayat, Imam, they will be far away from him. This is the reverse ayat, the one we were doing last week, where we said that the Jannat will be brought close to them and not far. और यहाँ पर बोलता है कि जो इसको follow नहीं करेगा, who will not believe in this symbol, will be far away.